Today, we are diving deep into one of the biggest questions of our time. What is the future of artificial intelligence? We're going to look at the clashing ideas from the very people building this tech and the ones trying to figure out its impact, from your job all the way to the global balance of power. Let's get into it. You know, this quote from philosopher Yuval Noah Harari, it just hits you, right? It perfectly frames the issue. See, unlike any tool we've ever made, AI isn't just a tool, it's an agent. It can make its own choices. And that one little fact, well, it changes absolutely everything. So to really get a handle on this future, you have to understand the people who are shaping it. On one side, you've got the builders. These are the CEOs of companies like Nvidia, Tesla, and Anthropic. They're in the trenches, literally creating the technology. And on the other side, you've got the strategists, thinkers like the CEO of Palantir and Yuval Noah Harari, who are analyzing AI's massive impact on society. Their views are worlds apart, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack. Let's kick things off with the one thing that feels the most personal: our jobs. I mean, the fear that AI is just going to make human work obsolete is everywhere. It's the question we're all asking. But is it really that simple? Let's look at the arguments. Okay, so the whole debate really boils down to these two completely opposite ideas. The first argument says AI is going to be this amazing engine for productivity, and it'll actually create more jobs than it gets rid of. But the other view, it's a bit more sobering. It says, no, this time is different. See, past tech revolutions hit manual labor. This one is coming for our brains, for cognitive, white-collar work. So the optimistic case, which Nvidia's CEO Jensen Huang is a big believer in, goes something like this. We get confused between the tasks of a job and the purpose of a job. Take a radiologist, right? AI got really good at the task of studying scans, but a radiologist's purpose isn't just to look at scans, it's patient care. So by handing off that one task to an AI, they were free to focus on their real purpose, see more patients. And guess what? Hospitals actually ended up hiring more radiologists. But, and this is a really big but, that sunny outlook is met with a completely different timeline. Dario Amodei, he's the CEO of Anthropic, one of the companies actually building these AIs, has a much more urgent prediction. He thinks AI is improving so fast, so exponentially, that we just won't be able to adopt our job market in time. And he puts the timeline for losing half of all entry-level white-collar jobs at just 1 to 5 years. Yeah, that's soon. And then you've got Alex Karp from Palantir, who adds this other kind of brutal layer to it. He basically sees AI as this great truth teller. He thinks it's a technology that's going to put our economies through a massive stress test and reveal what a job is actually worth in the market. As he says, you can't hide what works and what doesn't. It's not a moral judgment, it's just the market showing its cards. So you can see how this economic shockwave just naturally leads to a much bigger question. I mean, if AI has this much power to completely remake societies, who gets to control it? And that question takes us from our personal careers to the entire geopolitical stage. So this brings us to a whole new kind of global power struggle. The race to build the best AI isn't just about which company makes the most money, it's really a race for who will dominate the 21st century. And according to Alex Karp, the way things stand right now, the picture is pretty clear. He says there are only 2 countries that have really figured out how to make AI work at a massive scale: the United States and China. And he warns that Europe, on the other hand, has a serious and structural problem with adopting new tech that's putting it way behind. And this gap, it's not shrinking, it's getting wider fast. Yuval Noah Harari has this really powerful way to think about this. He says we're about to deal with a huge wave of immigration, but the immigrants won't be human. They'll be AI agents, built in America or China, and they're going to enter every other country on Earth. They'll take jobs, they'll shape the culture, and here's the kicker. Their loyalty won't be to the country they're operating in, but to the foreign company and the foreign power that created them. Which leads to the question that Harari thinks every world leader needs to answer, like right now. If these AI agents can make their own decisions, if they can sign contracts, maybe even own property, should we treat them as legal persons? Now, I know that sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but think about it. We already give legal personhood to corporations. The huge difference here is an AI can actually think for itself. So the reason these AI agents are so incredibly powerful all comes down to one massive breakthrough. AI is mastering language, the operating system of human civilization. And this isn't just about making chatbots better. This is a fundamental shift in how our world works. Harari just lays out the implications so clearly, it's kind of chilling.
Our entire society, our legal systems, our religions, our cultures, our economies, it's all built on language. It's all made of words. So when a non-human intelligence masters language better than we can, it can start to rewrite the source code of our whole civilization. The very thing that gave us power is now being challenged. So this creates this brand new fundamental divide. On one side, AI is becoming the master of the word, of logic, language, data, and patterns. So what does that leave for us? Well, maybe it's the domain of the flesh, consciousness, feelings, the kind of wisdom you have in your body that you can't really put into words. Our entire identity, which for so long has been based on our ability to think and reason, is suddenly being called into question. And, well, that leads to the ultimate question, doesn't it? If we're already admitting defeat in logic and language, the very things we thought made us special, what's next? This puts us right on the doorstep of what the experts call artificial general intelligence, or AGI. So now we're entering the most profound, maybe the most challenging part of this conversation. We have to start grappling with a future that used to be pure science fiction. What happens when we are no longer the smartest things on the planet? The thing that's truly stunning here is just how close all these timelines are. You've got Elon Musk saying AI will be smarter than any one human by 2026. The CEO of Anthropic sees AI performing at a Nobel Prize-winning level by 2027. And Demis Hassabis from Google DeepMind, he gives it a 50-50 shot we'll have full AGI by 2030. The people building this are all saying the same thing. This is happening this decade. And that's when Demis Hassabis asks the deeper question. Look, in a world run by AGI where we don't have to worry about scarcity anymore, solving the economic problems might actually be the easy part. The much harder question is about meaning. If our work isn't needed anymore, what happens to the human condition? Where do we find our purpose? And yet, with this enormous challenge comes just unbelievable opportunity. Elon Musk points out this amazing fact. You have about 35 trillion cells in your body, and they all seem to age at the same rate, which suggests there's some kind of biological clock, a code. He believes that aging is actually a solvable problem, and that a superintelligent AI could be the very thing that finally cracks that code, along with who knows how many other scientific mysteries. And that brings us to the end, with the question that Dario Amodei borrows from the movie Contact. He describes this moment we're in right now as a technological adolescence. We are right on the edge of gaining incredible, almost godlike power. But with that comes enormous risk. The ultimate test for our species, the question a future humanity might look back and ask us, is simply this. How did you do it? How did you manage to get through it all without destroying yourselves?